This sounds silly, but I really wanted people to understand and have that emotion that I have in my head when I remember being a kid and like chasing the dog up and down the road, or like literally sitting on the back of a motorbike.
And that was when I was still kind of trying to pretend I knew a bit about horticulture. Then Alan Titchmarsh comes along and have to show him around the garden.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, nothing about it. The brassicas? Not sure.
The what?
Brassicas?
What's
brassicas?
It's for holding you.
Ah, okay.
So that great idea. Good way to distract them.
Come on, Graeme. You've got
No
this.
idea.
You've got this. It's relevant to the podcast.
Fed by no idea.
I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we are both
Fed by farmers.
Hello and welcome to the Fed by Farmers podcast with me, Cammy Wilson.
And me, Iona Money.
Oh, I'm enthusiastic.
I loved it.
Right.
I think I need that. We've been recording for quite a while. I need a shake up.
Yeah, enthusiastic. We're doing the intro just now for Graeme, but we've just literally finished it. Graeme's just left, so
Yep.
we do the intro just after. So before we'll dive straight into this, and we'll talk a bit after it, but I've got to thank our sponsors. Iona, you're
Yep.
the best at it.
Thank you so much for saying that. Crystalyx and Tracesure by Animax.
Yes, thanks to both of them. I have just finished bolusing all my ewes with Tracesure bolus. Fantastic size. Very
Size of
workable.
bolus.
Yeah, very workable. Very easy to get down the throat, which was a help.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely fine in that regard. So can highly recommend. And I apologise for Iona. Well, we just why are you crying? Well, we just get straight into this now. Let's get straight into this and get away from this very quickly. Here we go. Here's the podcast with Graeme. Mr. Graeme Parker, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. Live studio audience here. We have a live studio audience. Graeme, thanks for joining us again.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
You're our first repeat guest here on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Only one stupid enough.
To come back twice.
With the honour of being asked on twice.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Come back and put things right. All the mistakes you made the first time.
Yeah, my cup's better.
That was a definite. It was terrible.
It's so bad.
And when you've done such a good podcast and you watch the edit back and all you can see is this. Just to clarify, it was like a mocha.
Yeah, but it looked like it was full of slurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stuck on.
It looked like he'd had a mug full of dung, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But we're here, various things obviously got to catch up, but also we're going to talk about your new book.
Yep.
This makes us feel quite big time. This is our first this is you obviously on your world press tour.
Yeah, came to
Stop
Ayrshire.
number
Yeah,
one.
that's right. Aye.
Stop number one, and this is the first and last stop.
Yeah, that's it.
So tell us about this book.
So it's a shock to a lot of people. I was asked to write books. I was given sort of publishing deals, and I thought that's not what I want to do. If I'm putting this amount of effort into something, I'm not just doing it for a quick hit or a wee bit of money. So as you guys now know, because you've read the book or listened to the book, it's probably not the book you were expecting from the Hoof GP. So yeah, I've thrown everything at it.
I think that's what surprised me when I did listen to it, was after doing the podcast, your first podcast, which a lot of people will have listened to, I thought, how can there be any more? Like, I felt like from that podcast, I was like, because there was so much in there that was shocking and unbelievable, and my jaw was hitting the floor. And then when I listened to the book, I was like, oh my goodness, like there's so many more layers to you.
I think that actually sums up perfect. Yeah, I thought, well, he's told us all the stories. Like, we've done the podcast, he's told us all the great stories, but very detailed.
Yeah, so we did the book launch, the official book launch at Wigtown Book Festival, and the guy on stage actually said something. It was really good to hear this exact phrase come out of somebody else's mouth. He said it was more like a thriller than someone's memoir. He said at the end of every chapter, he was like, "What?"
Well, you said that to me, that you thought like it shouldn't even just be for like people who like Hoof GP. Like, it's just a good book on its own.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's just like, who has that sort of life story?
So it was. Obviously, you've read it, how in depth it is, and like a lot of people wouldn't actually.
Too detailed.
Yeah, a lot of people. Oh, there's definitely a couple of bits that are too detailed, but a lot of people wouldn't reveal a lot of it, and I thought it was important to give the nuts and bolts. And there's some funny bits in there and some things that everybody's done, but there's also some deep things in there that might help some people as well. So yeah.
And how does that feel for you? Like, I can imagine it makes you feel quite vulnerable putting everything out like that, or is it almost like a relief? No,
it was a relief writing it, and that was like really, I keep using the word cathartic, but it was a real kind of healing process Like that sounds so contrived and like BS, but it was. I didn't mean it to be, but it was really nice because I did it obviously with my brother, and I sat every Monday night. We sat for hours on the phone talking about it, so that was fantastic. And now I'm absolutely crapping myself. I haven't slept since Sunday. Like
Really?
Ashley sitting over there behind the camera. Ashley was telling me, right, go and sleep in the spare room. This is I can't put up with it.
That's because she's read it.
Yeah.
Don't make me laugh. That was halfway through reading it. She said, right, you get into the spare room.
By the way, Cammy is just getting over a hernia operation, so yeah, that's
I said
why.
no jokes today, but I can't help myself. Sorry, Ashley.
He's wearing that hat and he says, "Make no jokes."
I know. Keep it. It's a deadly serious
His
podcast.
foresight is too big, but his ears are keeping it up.
I'm just. Oh, I'm in so much pain. But no, I'm just back from America, so I'm still reveling in it. I know you're a big US fan as well. So.
I'm just back from America. That's about the 6th time you've used that phrase since I came
Well, that's why I got the hat, so I can bring it up in conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's with the hat? Well, I'm back from the UP, the Upper Peninsula, as locals call it. Uppers. But no, we should. You're obviously talking about the detail and how terrified you are, and I can understand that. Like I have great notions of like, go write a little book about, because I think I've done a few things for a young person, just even through the stories of growing up on the farm to join the police in Glasgow, and what's some great stories there to come back. But genuinely, it is nothing compared to the stuff you've done. Like your book, and listen, 100%. I'm here to help you promote it as well, because it deserves promotion. Like, it's no garbage. It's garbage, but it's like entertaining garbage. Like, no, it's not.
To be clear, it's very well written.
It's surprisingly, Bob, your brother, obviously had a big hand in writing it, because there's a lot of words in there that I can tell when you were, because I've listened to you reading the audio version of it, and I can tell there's a lot of words in there that you've obviously, there's a wee cut where you've obviously went, what does that word mean? Sorry, stop telling jokes.
Reduce the risk of fly strike and livestock irritation at grass with Crystalyx garlics. Flies and midges are a constant pest to livestock throughout the summer and are responsible for diseases such as summer mastitis, pink eye, blue tongue and Schmallenberg. No repellent is 100% effective in the fight against airborne biting insects. However, Crystalyx garlics can play an important part in reducing the number of flies that land on livestock. Containing concentrated garlic extract, 5 times more potent than pure dried garlic, Crystalyx garlics offers a natural defense to biting insects, with the high sulfur compounds in garlic acting as a natural insect repellent. With a full complement of vitamins, minerals and trace elements, Crystalyx garlics balances the known deficiencies in forage while stimulating the rumen for enhanced animal performance. Make the switch this summer to research-proven Crystalyx garlics.
I can't handle this. Right.
It was a real like collab. People use that word collaboration. Yeah. This couldn't have been more of a collaboration. So what actually happened was, I paid somebody to write the book, and I worked with them for like 6 months, and then thought, this is just rubbish. This is not me. I'm gonna have to put way more effort into this, and we literally ripped the whole thing up. And I was like, right, Bob, let's go for it. And then he would write a bit, I would write a bit, we'd swap over, we'd rewrite it, we'd talk about it. So it was like a real collaboration. And obviously he filled in all my blanks, because I can hardly remember last week, never mind 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And he had a different take on it because he was older than me at the time. He still is older than me. But he was older than me. So like that was like awesome doing that. But we're talking about just there, is it scary or what? So we did Wigtown Book Festival, and it was a sold out audience, about 420 people, I think. Naively, I didn't realise how many local people would be there or how many of my customers would be there. And luckily, because the audience was fairly big and because of the layout of it, I couldn't really make anyone out. So I didn't realise how many of them were in there. And now I'm absolutely bricking it, because I'm like, great. People actually know are going to actually read this. And I didn't, like, you've seen the sales. I didn't expect this. People said, oh, how many do you expect to sell? Genuinely, no idea whatsoever. It's different getting views on a video and people being kind of casually interested. It's a completely different thing for people to actually part with their money when times are hard and get this book sent anywhere in the world. And then like the numbers, it's crazy. So
it is crazy.
I'm like, great, these people have bought the book and they're actually going to get it and they're actually going to read it. And, you know, like, it's quite scary.
Yeah.
It's not quite scary. It's really
first
scary.
of all, first thing Lizzie said to me when she said it's too cheap.
Yeah,
You're doing a
but
hardback and you're signing all the first wave of orders for £12. It's good value, I'm going to say that. But more so, and we talked about this, like...
it's a softback.
Is it a softback?
It's a softback, yeah.
Okay, it's too dear. I can't help myself. You're on the money. I take that back. Sorry, I thought it was a hardback.
No,
No,
it's
I
softback.
still think it's too cheap.
Yeah, you're fine
For
with
a
that.
signed copy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like the thing with this one is, and I'm not naming it, but there's a lot of people in the entertainment industry doing what you do that will just stick their name to a book, and that they, in my opinion, haven't written, and churn it and just do it for a quick £1.
Well,
You know,
that's
easy enough.
yeah.
There is no doubt, absolutely no doubt, that you wrote this book. Like the detail, and I keep going back to this detail thing. Like you share,
It is.
like
It's the
even when
ins
I
and
write a
outs.
book, like I would try. Like I've realised now when I write a book, I'm gonna have to put a lot more detail in it than I was thinking of putting in it. But I still wouldn't put as much detail as you have. Like you've been ridiculous.
I really wanted to paint a picture. This sounds silly, but I really wanted people to understand and have that emotion that I have in my head when I remember being a kid and like chasing the dog up and down the road, or like literally sitting on the back of a motorbike, like smelling mud and like the smell of hair when you dehorn a cow. I can I can remember that really, really, really well, and I wanted people to understand what that feels like to remember that and to be there.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why it's like that. That was something we really concentrated on, and Bob probably disagreed with me slightly to begin with, because I wanted more of that. So I was constantly like, no, we need more.
Yeah.
Right. And he was quite good at pulling me back a little bit, and I was good at pushing him forward. So yeah.
And I think as well, it gives such a good understanding. Like, I feel like you can see how you've grown up throughout the book as well. And you've got such clear stages of your life, like your time in Dumfries when you were doing the bars and the hotels.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, that sounds so like whatever, but it's like you grow through the book as well.
Yeah, no, I do.
And it's
You
like,
can- you can see it.
It is.
Like
I was so emotional.
I want to slag him off, like
I
you
know,
but
I know,
it's
yeah.
a good book. Like it's way better than I was expecting. I know, I'll be honest. I just thought it was going to be. I did this.
Yeah.
This,
But it
this.
could be a
I knew you had a great story.
it could be fictional.
it could be-
It could be a fiction.
Yeah, do you know it's not a million miles away for like Forrest Gump?
There's actually
Do you know what I mean? It's like how could this guy?
like a box of chocolates.
Aye. It's like how could did that all
I know, and
happen
I'm
to
like,
one guy?
surely not.
Do you not remember? There's a line about 3/4 of the way through the book, and it says in brackets, "Now remember, this is a true story." Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you can
yeah.
remember reading that bit, but I remember writing it and literally thinking, "This sounds like it's not true."
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we should just remind
What bit
people it is
was
true.
that? Was that Osama bin Laden's brother?
No, it wasn't. it wasn't. But yeah, that's in there.
I'm conscious we don't want to give too much,
I
but
know.
we should mention that little anecdote about because you didn't do that in the first podcast.
Yeah.
So as if you didn't think Graham's life was insane enough. He has a story in the book about Osama bin Laden's brother.
Yeah.
Very briefly, Iona. In fact, why am I telling you? Graeme, you tell us very briefly that little story.
So-
Don't give it all away, but
I won't give it all away completely, but so when we were younger, obviously we had a family farm, and somebody came to stay with us, and they were a sheikh or whatever, and they came with a Rolls Royce. Actually, they came with 3 or 4 Rolls Royces, and they came with all these different bags and everything, and they stayed with us for 2 months in our family. I think it was 2 months in our family home, and he was a fantastic person. I can remember it, but basically, cut to a few years later after he'd left, his name was Salim. It turned out that we were watching the news, and this guy had gone off his rocker. Partly, his life had changed course because his elder brother had died in an aeroplane crash, and his elder brother was Salim bin Laden, and the guy who had gone off the rails was Osama bin Laden. So, yeah, Osama bin Laden's brother. Genuinely, he stayed with us for about a month and a half or 2 months. Yeah.
Like that, it's insane. And then it was like, was it your mum? It was just like, that's the life.
She's like, oh, that's Salim, isn't it? yeah, we're watching the news one night. Yeah.
it's just beyond
Yeah.
belief. It's just madness.
We've got quite a few stories from when he was with us, actually. Yeah, and I don't know if they're all in the book, but
And what was his? I bet you say he died in a plane crash. That was
Yeah.
separate to
Yeah, that's right.
That's nothing to do with the actual Twin Towers thing.
no,
No.
He wasn't flying the plane.
No, he just actually died in a plane.
Yeah, he died. So he died.
There
was no. Oh, we're gonna get this back. He died sort of 10 or 12 years before 9/11 happened. It was quite a wee while before it happened. Yeah, but. Yeah, that's just one of the little kind of Easter eggs that's in the book, and there's a few things like that. Yeah,
yeah, just so random. Yeah, so a great example of the crazy stuff that's in there. A lot of stuff about your dad as well. Got into a lot of detail. You spoke about your dad quite openly on here, but a lot more detail. And I think a big one for there'll be a lot of people will be having a wee tear when they're reading the book. Like, if they've had a similar situation in their life, it's going to hit them hard.
Yeah,
because you are very detailed about your story with your dad and obviously how it affected you guys and the family moving forward and for the rest of your life. And I think, a lot of people that'll hit them hard.
Yeah. I just feel that I've got like a little weird saying. It's not a weird saying, but I always think every single person has got a story. Everyone in this room's got a story. And if you're sitting there thinking, I haven't really got a story, you're going to get one at some point. And I think it's important for people who have been through something to kind of say, look, this happened, but now look, we're all good, or almost all good, but you get through it. Like you go to bed that night, you wake up, next morning comes and you got through it. Like, and that's literally like lots of things that have happened throughout my life. Eventually you get through things and you come out the other side. And that's why I wanted to kind of tell the story. And
I think as well, there's obviously quite a theme throughout the book of your physical injuries that you've gone through, but also how openly you talk about your mental health and how that's affected you through your life. And I think that will resonate with a lot of people, and sort of not having diagnosis until later on in life. And there's also chances there of encouraging people to maybe go earlier.
Yeah. So I'm really conscious, like when we were writing the book, I was really conscious that I didn't want to be like, oh, mental health, don't worry, like, come on, here's cuddles. Everybody like mental health awareness, and I'm not down on that at all. That sounds like I am, but I'm not downplaying that. Like, that's good that people do that, but that's not me.
No,
I'm like, there's something wrong with me. Let's get that fixed.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that. It's like so mental illness is actually a physical illness. So the term mental makes you go, oh, it's something in your head. It's hocus pocus. My doctor explained the physicality behind it. Like, so it's. Your brain cells are slightly further apart than they should be, and serotonin levels are high, so the signals between your brain cells are lower, which triggers this, and this. And I was like, wait, so it's something physical? And he's like, yeah, that's why if you take this tablet, that changes that physical thing, and then it goes back to being okay. And I'm like, right. And because I think logically, I'm just like, right, let's get it fixed.
That makes
but
sense.
Obviously, you've read the book. I didn't know about any of this until Ashley was that fed up of me. She made me go to the doctors, which is a fair point. Yeah. She's still trying to get me to the doctors every week, actually.
Yeah. No, she's like, doctor, it can't be that.
It can't be that.
Like, I appreciate you trying, but you've not got it yet. And speaking of, when are you going to start taking the medication?
Yeah. Fairly soon.
I can't wait for the new year. But no, Iona's bang on. It's all good stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there folk can relate to, family things and health things, and even just the farming side of things. That I suppose it was a kind of succession thing that went wrong and
it went pear-shaped.
left you out in a lurch and going a different direction. And it's actually just quite a kind of, miracle's a bit extreme, but it's quite amazing that you just end up back in agriculture as you have done.
Yeah, but there's a lot of that happening right now. Like the whole succession thing. People waking up as children thinking, I'm going to be a farmer. Not even thinking that I'm going to be a farmer. I never thought I was going to be a farmer. I knew I was going to be a farmer. I was just going to be a farmer. But that's happening so much more. Like just last week, 12 people lost their contracts, their dairy contracts in Wigtonshire and South Ayrshire. I think a lot of them have picked them up again. But those sort of things are happening more and more all the time. So those opportunities of farming are disappearing. So that happens. So it happened to us at a time where it didn't really happen, but we all have gone off in different directions and we're all doing fairly well. So it just shows that even though the course of your life kind of changes, well, just change with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, listen, there's lots of great stories in it, and of course I genuinely would love to give the book a big push because it's a fantastic read. Like, for anyone, especially like if you've got a farming connection or anything to the southwest of Scotland, there's lots of stuff in there that we can relate to. But yeah, just anyone who's lived a life and has family, and
but do you feel like
everyone can relate to it?
When you listen to something that's promoting something, like there's always a part of me that's like, I don't know, that doesn't take it seriously. Whereas I feel like with this, I'm like, genuinely, I love the book.
Yeah, yeah. You
Do you know what
really
I mean?
do
Like,
love it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Iona did mess me halfway through. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, because
Like,
she's
it's
in that.
amazing.
It's like,
And she got Snoop Dogg to read it to her. That's worth saying.
Yeah,
I-
that might have added a little
I
something,
can't
to
believe
be
you
fair.
did this.
Yeah.
That-
You need to explain that. Come on.
Graham sent me the audio files, so I had the audio, but I only sent Iona the written one.
Yeah.
So was it Speechify you downloaded?
I've got a free trial.
A free trial of Speechify, then what you could pick anyone you like to read to you.
Yeah, so it had like certain celebrities, so I went for Snoop Dogg. On 1.5 speed.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So Snoop Dogg on helium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
that
Yeah,
was-
there you go.
Reading Bruised Soul, and it's got Bruised Soul as well as the name of the book. Good name.
So originally
Who came up
it was called On My Own 2 Feet, because I thought, and it was Behind the Hoof, which is actually turned into a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And I was like, I was never quite sure about it, and then Healing Soul was one, and I thought that sounds like a bit of a journey kind of healing soul kind of, and I was like, Bruised Soul, it makes too much sense. Like it's too perfect.
Oh, I mean, you told me I thought
So it was Bruised Soul, SOUL to begin with, and I was like, the pun is too great to ignore. So yeah, Bruised Soul, and like, I think it's brilliant because obviously cattle suffer from bruised souls, and they carry it with them even after once you've trimmed away that bruised hoof horn, they've still got problems on the bone inside because they calcify and get little jaggy hoof horn, little bony projections on their hoof. And I feel like when you go through something slightly traumatic in your life, well, you kind of carry that too, and you learn from it, don't you?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually perfect. No, the things in your book are definitely never going to leave you. Like, they're serious
Try as
things.
I might. Try as I
Oh,
might.
yeah, definitely. No matter how many pills you start taking, that trauma's going to be there.
Cammy, I will start taking
eventually.
them.
Yeah. When you said things are further apart, through, you're talking about why your eyes were like that. But no, genuinely, a big shout out to the book, and I'm sure it will go well. How many have we sold already? You've sold about
So it's just
10,000 copies or something.
Yeah, it's just under 11,000 copies this morning. That's what I was going to say off air. So, do you know how many books you have to sell to get on the New York Times bestseller list?
Is this on here now, though? You're going to say it off air, but now
I'll
you're
say it
on here.
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, I said that to you. You're doing this all yourself,
Yeah.
right? And I've seen other people doing books that can't have sold as many as you're selling, and they make I don't know about New York Times, but they make the.
Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, I do.
How
much?
It'd be
How
weird if he was just asking you randomly the answer. Well, could you find out, please, Iona?
I thought that's what I was going to ask.
It's 5,000
Is that right? To be in the top what?
to be in the top 10.
What?
5,000 books in a week.
Is that a weekly list?
Yeah, it's a weekly list. So you need 5,000 to be in the Sunday Times bestseller list. At the bottom of it is between 1,000 and 2,000, and we've sold almost 11,000 in the first 4
In
days.
4 days.
Oh my goodness.
You'd be right up
I
there.
just did not.
But how can you get that ratified?
We can't, and that's fine.
Oh, you can't. If it's
No,
not,
no,
if
no,
you're
we can't.
self-publishing, you can't.
So we're self-publishing, and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Because the publishers didn't want to do this book. They wanted to do the fluffy agriculture one, and that's fine. They're good books. Like, there's no doubt about it. Coming out next June.
There you go.
I'm only joking.
He's on a roll now. He's on a roll.
No, but that's not what I wanted to do. The publishers wanted me to do that, and they were like, "Oh no, I don't think that's right for you." Like what we actually have done, and obviously people haven't read it, so like that's not off the back of what they've read. So maybe they're all gonna regret buying it. But
Nah, I think it'll be in word of mouth, and I think it'll go solid. I think it's one of those ones, if you could get it in, your Waterstones or whatever at an airport, great book to pick up.
yeah,
And you don't need to be a farmer
yeah.
at all.
No, definitely not.
Well, I wanted it to tell a story as well. We've talked about this, but privately, every one of my videos tries to tell a story of a cow, starting off with a sore foot, what we do about it, and how she ends up. And I believe every video should have a story, and that's what makes a good video. So my book needed to be a story as well. So it needed to have a start, a sort of problem, which ends up being me in the book, and then an outcome, which ends up being the family that I've got.
Yeah.
So it was, I say deliberate. I didn't spend 42 years deliberately concocting it all, but you know what I mean.
Oh, listen, things are going well just now. There's no doubt about it. The other thing worth pointing out is I think it's about 100 and it's 300. I was going to say 120,000 words, but it's about 300 and something pages.
Yeah,
That's another thing that shocked me a bit.
So
Was the size of it.
Yeah. Everybody's shocked by the size of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's much bigger than most people think. They're like, it can't be that long. And I'm like, it is that long.
Yeah,
so you're shocked by my size.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's just the thickness as well. Like when you see it actually there, you know,
Yeah, it's good
quality paper.
Yeah, it's good
Quality
it's good
paper.
girth to it anyway,
Somebody
yeah.
will just be cutting this for a Snapchat audio.
Anyway, back to the book.
Aye. And we haven't, obviously I've just got the text files and the audio thing for a preview before the podcast, but is there pictures in the book?
No, there's not.
No, I'm not taking the piss. I'm not, no. No, listen. I bought a fantastic. I bought a great set of crayons ready for this book coming out, and you're telling me that there's no.
I get what you mean.
There's no pictures at all, because I actually like books where like I've read a lot of autobiographies. I quite like it where you get to a bit and then it'll reference the stuff. It might show a picture of your mum and dad at the farm, or you know the Russian agents that were over, or Salim or whatever. You know, it might show a photo. And,
the Russian agents.
It's good to. I've said too much.
All the tangents on this book.
But you know what I mean. So there's no images like that in it.
No, there's not.
Why?
Sort of did consider doing it. And I'll be honest, this book took almost 2 years to write, and then I was like, right, release it, don't release it, release it, don't release it. And I was like, right, release it. And we needed to do it quickly because it needed to be done for the book festival. So part of it was the constraints of time, like just pushing forward those last 2 or 3 months. So we needed a professional editor as well. And to get that plus the actual print on time and everything like that, it just involves so much more. Plus it adds quite a lot of cost, I think. And I was really, really, well, you said it was too cheap, but I was really, really conscious. I wanted it to be a price point that people could buy it. Yeah. So so that was important, but it's definitely a good idea. Like,
did you get any confidence for the last time you were in doing a podcast and you told all those stories that people hadn't heard before? Was the feedback from that? Did that give you a big boost?
It was tremendous. Yeah. So a few kind of funny things happened from it. So obviously I didn't say, but it was obvious. I'd never been as open as that on social media ever before. It's normally quite a business-like professional. I dropped my guard, but I don't sort of open right up. And obviously the comments off the back of it were tremendous. They were really, really good, and kind of they warm you to people, or you see people warming to you, and it's incredibly endearing. Like, it makes you feel good. It really does. Like, it's sort of, you're crapping yourself, opening yourself up, and then you think, actually, it's not quite as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
But I did, I was at a shop, I won't say what shop it was, but I was at a shop, and the person in the shop knows me quite well. They don't know me quite well. They know me from going in there. And I went in and she was like, oh my God, I watched your podcast. I'm so sorry. Everybody loves you. And I was like, oh wow, this is real.
Yeah.
So me being me, like, I'm quite out there when I'm on here, but in real life I'm quite introverted in a way. So I found that quite difficult. Don't get me wrong, when I left the garage, I had this like really warm and fuzzy feeling, and I was really glad she had said it. But at the time, I was like, oh,
totally.
So it had some really good, feedback and some good happenings from it.
Yeah. No, we get loads, to be fair, off the back of it. Yeah, I think that was the big thing. Everyone just sees you, and a lot of folk from the outside looking in, they see the money as well, and they just think, oh, just this, this flash guy, which obviously you are, but. You're all right with it as well.
I look like a student, don't I?
Do you know what I mean? It's fine. What's this brand you're wearing here? What you repping here?
I know.
I wouldn't know. All white, off-white.
Off-white.
Off-white. I have heard that. I only know off-white because there's someone behind the camera wearing it here looking trendy.
Yeah.
Very fashionable.
Campbell's sitting over there.
So what's your next big plans then? Obviously, releasing this book.
Titchmarsh.
Oh yeah, tell us about this.
The future is Alan Titchmarsh.
Do you know? Have you heard of Alan Titchmarsh?
Yeah.
But who's Alan Titchmarsh?
The guy that's on the telly.
What does he do?
Presenter.
What does
Farmer.
He do? Oh, close.
Gardener.
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 I've met him.
Oh, of course.
Great. Totally one up on me.
Insert photo of me and Alan Titchmarsh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, obviously
Couldn't
made a big
remember
impact.
who he was,
I was going to say it made a big impact
You
on
ask
you.
him who Iona Murray is, though, he's like, oh yeah, Chris Flat. Aye, I know.
No, do you know what was
John's
terrible?
lassie.
That was when I worked at Dumfries House. So initially I was food farming and horticulture. I covered. Now I've got like no knowledge about horticulture whatsoever. Obviously it's just food and farming.
Yeah.
And that was when I was still kind of trying to pretend I knew a bit about horticulture. Then Alan Titchmarsh comes along. I have to show him around the garden.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, nothing about it. The brassicas? Not sure.
The what?
Brassicas?
What's
brassicas?
It's for holding you.
Ah, okay.
That great idea. Good way to distract him. Alan,
Here's Iona. Iona brassicas.
never mind the blue bottles. What about these brassicas? Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Inappropriate. So you had to show Alan about the gardens.
Yes.
I think you're just honest on, like, Alan, I'll be honest, we have no idea what I'm doing here. Don't grass me in.
No, it was cameras.
Oh, like you're actually filming for a...
Yeah, it was...
We used to do Beach Grove Garden. No, that's Scottish.
That's Scottish.
What did,
he did. I can't remember.
It was just Alan Titchmarsh's gardening.
Yeah, it was just Alan Titchmarsh's Gardener's World or something like that. Yeah, but he's been on literally loads and loads of shows.
Yeah, so what's your deal with him?
Oh, he needs a cow trimmed, doesn't he?
How random.
Phoned the right
He's
guy.
got some cows?
No, yeah. Well, they asked me if I could bring one with me.
Wait, what?
It's for, I take it for a new show, is it?
Yeah. So they do a show called Love Your Weekend.
Okay.
And he kind of does like lots of little country bits in it at his farm, which is called Manor Farm, but it's more like a kind of showy little hobby farm, if you like, cottage farm. And turns out he is a fan of Hoof GP, and he was talking to the researchers on there, and they all said, "Of course we love Hoof GP. We all watch Hoof GP too." So they phoned and they said, "Don't suppose you'll come down and trim a cow for us, will you?" And I was like, "Of course I will. Yeah, of course I will." And they said, "Can you bring a cow?" It's like, "No, I'm really sorry. You'll need to provide the cow." So, so yeah, we're going down Tuesday night. We're going to be trimming there on Wednesday, and then it'll be out a couple of months.
And will
or
they just
something.
take it to some random farm around
No,
here?
bringing the
Going
cow
to
to them. Going to trim in the garden.
And where is the place?
It's in Hampshire. Manor Farm, it's called.
How far's that?
7.5 hours drive. So the boys are coming down, as in Kevin and Craig are coming down. We're literally just trimming the one Charlie Heifer, and then we're doing a bit of the show. So yeah,
I think you just stay the night down there and then back up the next day, or just...
I asked us to stay over at his house, so we thought might as well.
Hilarious.
No,
No chance. No chance. As soon as I finish filming, it'll be like, leave, please.
yes, off with you peasants.
I prefer watching you behind the screen.
We're going down. We've got some stuff to do in London. So we're going down and we're going to go on holiday between Alan Titchmarsh and the stuff in London. So yeah.
I'll
Where
let
are
the
you
boys
going?
come back up the road and you
Kevin and Craig will
over.
come straight back up the road, straight back to work. Yeah, so we're still trimming flat out. We're non-stop trimming. That's that will always be there. So
Do you think you'll ever stop doing that?
at some point, yeah.
Like when? Like soon? Or
Well, I'm not going to trim when I'm 80, am I?
no, bad for the back.
You'll
Not with your fancy crush
He'll
though.
not be here when he's 80.
I have no idea. I've got no plans to stop.
Yeah.
I've got no plans to stop.
Do you,
I've got no
do you
plans to
enjoy
slow
the
down.
actual trimming?
Some days I hate it. Other days I love it. Same as sheep.
sheep.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
But in general, love it. Yeah. I love the fact that you have a terrible day and you're not there tomorrow.
But also, you can't get content if you don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like the Hoof GP, if you stop hoof trimming, the Hoof GP stops.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So both work together so well. The good thing will be is you won't need to do as much as you used to do.
Yeah.
I mean, have you reduced your numbers? I suppose you've got more
Not
staff
really.
now, so
Yeah.
We're trimming about the same.
the two lads will take a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah, so we trim about the same, but we get through them quicker because there's 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's 4 of us trimming exactly the same amount of cows that I used to trim by myself with a lesser capable crush. So we get through the numbers quicker, which is better for the farmers. But we're home, I'll be honest, we're home by lunchtime most days.
Yeah.
And then,
So that makes such a
yeah, and then I feel like that's the proper work finished with. But actually, I'll tell you, midnight sometimes I'm still in the office. So,
I
but
try
that's
to
just
edit
playing,
and-
right? That's not it's not real work, is it?
That's the one that pays the most bills.
Yeah,
that's
but
the thing.
But in all seriousness, you do that or you watch TV.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, so-
I used to say it all the time when folks
100
said to me about editing, it's like, well, what are you doing between that time you
Yeah.
have your dinner till you go to bed? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're just usually sitting watching TV.
Yeah, so
It's changed now with the kids being younger, that just time, and that's how we've now got an editor, because that time was just
Yeah.
eating up.
plus you'll have to muck out your trailers after Jock's been in them. Which must
Aye,
take a bit.
look at everything. Well, to be fair, I've got the potty training just a bit nailed now.
Have
But-
you?
Aye. But although he has got a thing about dropping a big one outside before he comes in the house.
right.
Like, I just like, so he'll do the potty no bother in the house or whatever, but he just loves the freedom, I think.
But that's
of
like
just-
monkey see,
Yeah.
monkey do. He sees his dad
See,
doing
maybe
that.
a bit of that.
And then he's like, right, okay.
Definitely with the peeing outside. Definitely with the peeing outside. I think it doesn't help that I like egg him on a little bit. Like Lizzie's trying to like, Chalk, you can't do that. And I'm like, go on, son. Like, go on. That's a belter. Like, jeez, look at the size of that from a wee boy. Wow. So proud.
Does he get a third leg?
It's just like, the things that come out, unbelievable. It's so precious. Kids are so precious. You boys don't do that, do you? No, toilet trained.
Just about.
Just about. Feral.
Just about.
So yeah, and of course you touched on, you have a new Hoof GP channel as well.
Yeah, so
off the hoof or
behind the hoof. Yeah, so a lot of people are interested in our private lives, like things away from farming, and they're also interested in how YouTube works or how the logistics of a hoof trimming business work. So this is a channel that was 4 clips, so it's called the Hoof GP Clips. It's got about 1.8 million subscribers, so it does pretty well on its own. But then I thought, right, we'll start putting more effort, more time into that to show behind the scenes, and it's actually really cool. We've been doing it about 3 months now. It's doing really well. And it's quite enjoyable. It is a big effort, but it's enjoyable because the kids get more involved in it. Ashley gets more involved in it. You see more of that kind of like this, for instance. This will be on the channel. The audio book recording that was on the channel, and I find it interesting watching people who I watch and understanding how their channels work and things. So I thought, well.
That's good.
It's nice as well because it's probably more like similar to what I do on YouTube, where it's not as rigorous a structure. Like the Hoof GP is a very set structure.
Yep.
And albeit you tweak, the intros will be different at times, and you'll feature a little bits, but you're very strict to your structure because that's what the fan base wants.
Absolutely,
and that's where you get the views.
Yep.
Whereas with mine, it's almost like I'm making a home diary and other people are watching.
Yep, it's much more like that.
Yeah.
It's less edited, so there's no zooms, there's no music, there's no drones, there's no voiceovers, there's none of that at all, which I love doing. I genuinely love doing that. But it is massively consuming, but you get a great product at the end of it. But this is much more like for instance, I might be here doing this and then it'll like instantly cut to me trimming a foot that's got an abscess on it, or cut to me being here. Like, so it's quite, it kind of keeps you captivated. I quite like it because it's like really high energy, if that makes sense. And they're much longer videos as well, more like yours. I'm just trying to copy what you're doing, basically.
Listen, mate, you'll get there.
I'll get there. I will get
It's
there.
ironic because I'm trying to copy what he's doing. To get there, to get there.
Take the hat
In
off
fact,
then.
since we last seen you, just talking about YouTube success and all, you've sold all the motors since we last seen you, have you not?
No,
Have you?
I fell in hard times.
I fell in hard times.
This is for the next book. He's setting it all up for the next book.
Skint.
There's a bit of bitterness at the back. Is that bitterness, a bit of resentment about the money getting spent? So, you sold all the cars and you bought some rubbishy wee Lamborghini Urus or something. Is that what it was called?
Sort of. That's old news.
Aye.
No, so what we did was, so I had
This is breaking news about a new car here.
Yeah,
that
so
I don't know about.
We had 5 cars and I got rid of 3 of them because they're expensive. Like, I absolutely love them, but I wasn't using them enough, and I don't have enough money that I can just sit there and not do anything and may not worry about them. So
something bad has happened.
yeah. So I was walking by
A
them.
lot of change since we last spoke to him.
So I was walking by them just thinking, I'm not using these enough. So I got rid of them, yeah. But
How much did you get for them?
like a mixture. So Porsche were an absolute nightmare. I fell out with them and I ended up like a little child. And I didn't want to sell that one. And they offered me 90,000 quid less than the car was worth. And then I sold it the next day for what it was worth after they did that. They just really annoyed me.
Somebody private.
No, just a different company, actually.
Okay.
A different company. And then sold the Lamborghini to pay a tax bill. Genuinely. That's what I did.
You got an
so I never said that
tax
to you.
bill.
So we had money. So I went and bought a Lamborghini with it, knowing that I would have this big tax bill, but also knowing that, right, I can buy this car, drive it for 9 months, have fun, sell it, and pay the tax bill. So that was... I thought, well, I might as well just do that because I need to keep the money, so I might as well have fun with it, and that's exactly what we did. We did that. So that was that, and then we got rid of the other one just to reduce. But we kind of got talked into buying another car there last week. We didn't. It's a 1,000 horsepower Lamborghini, 1,001 horsepower.
How many horsepower is the one you've got just now?
740.
1,000 horsepower. That's like a Bugatti.
Like
What's a Bugatti? That's about 1,000. Isn't it?
The original one is the other ones are a wee bit more now. Yeah, this is 1,000 horsepower. It's
Like, what will
mental.
my Duke be?
About 170.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite nippy.
That's a Nissan Duke I was talking about. Yeah.
It's nice though.
It's
Don't worry,
nippy,
it's
it's
nice.
nippy.
Oh, absolute belter.
It's nice.
It's nice.
That's not what you said the other day.
No. But it's good that she's frugal with her money. I like that. It's good.
has-
It's good. I'm not joking. It's good. Like
I think it's just a reflection of what she gets paid, to be
A lot
honest.
of folk are holding it for a company car. No, but like I think it's rather than paying a big finance on a motor you don't need.
Absolutely.
I think you're spot on.
I don't care. Like, so the other day, one of my mates, I was driving about in a Passat a couple of months ago, and someone was taking photos laughing, and I was like, I don't care what car you drive. Like, I jumped out of it and said, "Oh, what do you think?" I was like, "It drives lovely." And he's like, "Oh, shut up." It's like, it does. It drives absolutely lovely. Like, cars and stuff don't mean anything. They're just fun.
Yeah,
Like, fun.
yeah.
And tell us more about this Lamborghini.
So it's 1,000 horsepower. It is a hybrid, so I'm buying it to be green. That's to give,
Oh, has this been on Supercar Blondie?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So it's got 3 electric motors in it, and then it's got a V12 natural aspirated.
It's like 2 seconds
engine.
to 60 mile an hour. 2.5 seconds.
Yeah,
or something.
2.4.
I've seen the video.
Not to
Must be the same
150
one.
in 7 seconds.
It takes off totally silent if you want, or it can
that's
rip
it.
the tar.
Aye, that's it.
That's weird. I just seen that.
Forget
video.
all that though.
I do watch a bit of Supercar Blondie.
Doors go up.
Oh, I like
Doors go up.
winged.
What colour is it?
That. Silver. It's quite understated.
Do you not get to choose the colour?
So these cars, they're like pre-release cars, so they're not, you can't find this car for sale just now because they're not allowed to sell it because the original people had to buy so many, and now they're reselling those cars. But if actual Lamborghini found out they were selling them, they wouldn't sell those people another car. So it's pretty much, it's there. If you want it, you can have it. Like that's it. So it's secondhand. It's like, it's got 800 miles on the clock.
Okay.
It sells now for more than what the original guy that bought it for.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense? So
But is it still going to be cheaper than you buying a new one?
No, more.
Because it's like a limited release one?
Why
is it more?
yeah, because it's a limited release one, and you can't just. So if you had £1 million, you couldn't just go and say, right, I want one of them. They would just say, no, I'm not selling it. So I couldn't go and buy a new one. So if I want one, I have to buy a second-hand one, and that means that there's a premium on them. It's mad, isn't it?
Oh, that is.
Yeah, that is mad.
It's a different world.
It is mad.
It's mad
Yeah.
that he's buying it.
It's
Is it
funny.
not, Ashley?
It's so funny. Like it's.
Have you got it here? Have you driven it here?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, you don't have it yet, do you?
Don't get it for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
About 2 weeks. Yeah, stuff like that takes. It's drawn out.
And when they do the whole thing where you like pull a wee sheet off it and that, and
We
No,
Red
it's an
Bull.
electric thing. Have you not seen it? It's like a wee button they press now. So it's covered in like this big black cloak, and they press it, and it goes. It's really cool.
Cool.
nice.
Yeah, it's
We
the
put
best
that
bit.
on the channel on the.
Don't
Behind
know
the
because
Hoof.
people think you're being they think you're being showy. See when I've
They
when
think you're being showy.
but I don't buy it for that. I buy it because it's nice to drive.
You're allowed to be showing.
But I drive it because I love it. Like it makes me feel like a little Wayne.
Oh,
like
aye,
100%. And I
Aye.
love.
Mate, I love that you're so open about it. That's the
Aye.
best. And so do people that listen. See, from the last one we spoke about all the cars and all the crazy. Like, I think it's great that you're just you're honest about like these
See
things.
if-
See
see
if you
I-
try and pretend like and play it down. It's like
See me pulling up at like something where I know there's like going to be people like from like local people or whatever, and I have to get out of the car. If I pull up and I see them, I'll be like, oh shit. I'll drive around the block and hopefully they've gone.
Yeah.
Like I'll get out and run away in case somebody asks me about the car. Like so,
Yeah.
I like people seeing it because I know what I'm like when I see the cars. I'm like, ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
And I love driving them and stuff. But then I don't know. I feel like
I've actually walked back
Yeah.
to the car at times as well, and there's like loads of people around about them. We just walk past it.
yeah. So Ashley,
Tell everybody, and then we go back.
say that one again in case.
so Ashley's just telling the guys that we've walked back to the car before, or one of the cars before, and people have been taking photos and people round about it. So we just walk straight past, like it's not ours.
Lovely car.
Because
Oh,
we get
fantastic.
embarrassed by it.
Take a photo and just keep walking.
Yeah, so the showy bit, I get that it looks showy, but it's not me. Honestly, it's not. Like,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah.
Aye, it's just that adrenaline rush you absolutely crave.
I just love it. Yeah, you switch off completely. Like, yeah.
And okay, 1,000 horsepower. There we go. It's amazing. I wonder what Alan's is. Our
No,
friend.
so
our friend.
no,
do you know Alan?
I know Alan's. That's why we had to buy it because you sent a thing saying, "See, sheep farmers can buy Lamborghinis too." So I was
yeah.
like, right,
I need to
we'll
get a
sell
better
that
one
and get
now.
a bigger one.
Yeah, okay. I'll need to get. I'll need. In that case, I'll need to get some pictures of Tom Blackwood's cars and send you them.
No, don't bother.
I think he's got the.
He's got everything.
He's
you know?
got the top ones. Well, he's got these. I need to get some photos. They're like Ford. What's the fancy Fords that are like rally cars that are like one of a kind?
Oh, like a Fiesta R5 or something.
Oh, he's got
like
one
that.
that I like. Colin
Yeah,
McRae's dad drove and all that. Like, is it Cosworths? No, what's
Yeah,
it?
Cosworth, Sierra. We can get Sierra Cosworth and Escort
Aye,
Cosworth.
aye,
Yeah,
all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's amazing.
yeah.
You just got a new Defender as well, which
I
I
saw
quite like.
that. It's
Have
so
you seen
nice,
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Aye.
did you see Keeping Cows Moving's Defender?
I went on fire.
Aye, on fires. Hey, that's an understatement. It completely burnt to the ground. The only thing left was the doors.
Yeah, this
genuinely.
is on Facebook. Keeping Cows Moving. Mad.
It was about 3
post.
months old. He was driving along. 3 months old. He literally got a warning sign on that said low oil or something like that. Stopped 200 yards later. I thought there's smoke coming out of the dashboard. Got out, flames everywhere. And his exact words were, "It took the fire brigade 4 hours to put out." I was like, well, in that case, they didn't put it out. it just burnt out.
Aye.
Because they're aluminium, so once aluminium catches fire, it's self-igniting,
Right.
and that's it. Like, there's no, but there's no way you would have known what it was.
Well, there goes a sponsorship with Land Rover.
Yeah.
Shame, I do like a Land Rover.
that's-
as well.
They are nice. They
I'll
are
be honest, I would
nice.
still take one,
Yeah, they're
even
lovely.
with that risk. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what your
yeah,
insurance
yeah,
is for. But no, listen, fantastic. Anything else you want to throw? Oh, we're going to do this.
Questions.
Should
I'm gonna. Yes.
Oh, we're bringing back
I'm
the quiz.
literally only
I'm
here
conscious,
because I want to do the questions.
I'm conscious, obviously, the family's here and you're heading to Glasgow, but we'll have a quiz. We're going to
okay.
reinstate this. We're going to get this. The leaderboard behind us, it all needs redone. Let's restart it.
Okay.
What? He's taking the target down.
No, because
Oh no, that was the time thing. You're doing it differently.
we're doing it different.
Right, what are we doing?
Right, that now we're doing. Okay.
We've not conferred about this.
No, I
can
know,
we?
because it's all very off the cuff. How many questions we have there? I'll never get through all them. No. I was thinking you do 2 minutes of just 2 minutes.
See how many you get right.
And see how many you
Fast,
get
like
right.
the chase. Just
100%.
2 minutes.
Great.
Questions.
Okay.
How many you get right? That goes in the board.
How are we timing?
Laptop.
Right, I'll be honest. If there's slow reading though,
Or
And what we'll do is anyone watching on YouTube, Ashley can put and that's Ashley the editor, can put a screen, a time, a clock on the screen.
yep.
Are you going to read them out? Like, how's your reading?
Great. How's yours?
How many years have you been at it?
24.
yeah, no, I'll go with
pretty
Iona.
That's pretty
24.
good.
By the way, it's if I've started, so I'll finish when you get to the 2 minutes. Okay,
Oh,
okay,
is it?
okay.
100%.
Right,
Oh, we should
okay.
do a different phrase though.
Oh, a different phrase than that?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on the last
think?
year,
Come
so
on.
I'm going to finish.
I'm almost there. So I'm almost there. So just let me finish. I'm almost there. So just let me finish.
Right. That's it.
Right, a timer. Right.
So childish.
That is absolutely.
Most foragers don't supply sheep and cattle with enough cobalt, copper, iodine and selenium, critical to digestion, immunity, reproduction and growth. When it comes to supplementation, there's a danger of under or oversupply. But when bolusing with Animax Tracesure, you can be sure every animal has enough for up to 6 months in one single application. Animax, giving what it takes.
Right,
Okay.
let's go.
Okay.
I'm
right.
actually. I'm not
Tell
even
me
joking.
when.
So-
I'm actually nervous now.
Are you?
I was quite
I was
confident.
nervous
and now
when
I'm
I
like
did it as
bricking
well. I was nervous.
Okay, so we're this is us our first.
Wait, can I just see the movie saying?
No chance, no chance. Don't be dropping
No,
that.
you're right.
Like that. Just watch them.
Oh, these are easy.
Right, okay.
Because you're reading them.
Because you can, it's all so
It's
easy
so
when you can
easy
see
when
the
you
answer.
read them.
So this is us. We're bringing back the quiz. We're going to have a leaderboard. Graeme is going to be the first one on this. He's our guinea pig for this. We think we have better questions and a better format this time. We're going to do 2 minutes on the clock. Is 2 minutes too long? Do you think you should 90
No,
seconds?
2 minutes.
I think you need 2 minutes because if the amount of guests you have.
Are you allowed to pass as many as you want?
Oh, I just pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. I bet you I'm aiming for the first position.
Okay.
He's the only one on it, so that's
Number
a
one.
joke. Okay, so right, we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go.
What is the largest ocean, the Pacific or the Atlantic?
Pacific.
Yes. Brian Lara played international cricket for which national side?
Australia.
West Indies. Which pop star was born in Gary, Indiana on August 29th, 1958?
Elvis Presley.
Michael Jackson. Which smoked fish might you expect to be served with cream cheese and lemon juice and canapes? Yes. Which TV character was first portrayed by William Hartnell in 1963?
Pass.
Doctor Who. Which former England footballer scored against Morocco in a pre-World Cup 1998 friendly to become, at the time, England's youngest goal scorer?
Lineker.
Michael Owen. Russell Crowe plays Inspector Javert in which 2012 film?
Pass.
Les Mis. Which colour gives its name to the region of space-time that has such strong gravitational effects that nothing can escape?
Black.
Yes. Which American actor and political activist is known for playing Moses in the Ten Commandments and Ben Hur as a title character?
Pass.
Charlton Heston. Who is the
Just gonna say
Roman
Christian Bale.
goddess of love?
Athena.
Venus. Cordoza Calvin Broadus Jr. is the birth name of which US rapper known for hit singles Gin and Juice and Drop It Like It's Hot? Come on, Graeme, you've got
No
this.
idea.
You've got this. It's relevant to the podcast.
Fed by fun. No idea.
Snoop Dogg.
Dog.
Appaloosa, French Trotter and Mustang are all breeds of which animal?
Horse.
Yes. Which singer had a 2011 hit with Born This Way?
Lady Gaga.
Yes. Which Steve Carell movie has the tagline, the longer you wait, the harder it gets?
40-year-old virgin.
Yes. Kurt Cobain was the lead vocalist with which
Nirvana.
US... Yes. In which sport might you compete for the claret jug?
Golf.
Yes. Wolfgang Amadeus is the first names of which Austrian
Mozart.
composer? Yes. An Anglophile is a supporter or admirer of what?
English people.
Yes. The
Time.
logo.
Start
I'm
this, you
almost
can do
there.
it. Yes, there you go. Say it. There you go.
So I'll finish. The logo for Chang beer features 2 of which animal?
Kingfisher.
Elephant.
Oh, I just said bear. Can I just say, what a saviour that last 40 seconds
I know,
was.
it was so
Mate,
rubbish.
mate, we were at 1:10 and I think you had 3 right.
Is that right?
You ended up
What
with
did he-
10.
Wow.
Oh, that's rubbish.
What a comeback.
I was,
by the
I was
way.
we're really struggling to begin with.
Some of them are terrible, aye. Like,
was-
what a comeback though.
I wouldn't have got Michael Jackson.
No, I would never thought that
I wouldn't
way.
have got West Indies.
I'd have got West Indies. Well,
I
I,
wouldn't have got Les
I
Mis.
definitely knew it was
This sounds
England.
silly. I think I got all the ones I knew.
Because
You
Brian,
know what I mean? I didn't.
There wasn't any that you were like, oh,
well, I just
I
remember
should have got that.
Brian Lara was a cricket game when I was wee.
I knew that, by the way. Sorry, that one I should have got West
Aye.
Indies.
Snoop Dogg.
Aye, I know.
What were the
But
chances?
even then-
I know,
What
I
were
know.
the chances?
Even then, I'm not.
I know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
10, there we go. So we'll get Graeme Parker up on the leaderboard with 10
Yep.
correct answers in 2 minutes. I think that's a good
Yeah,
format.
I
It's
think
quite
that's
intense.
respectable.
Good.
And then watching YouTube, we'll be able to see the clock on the screen so you can see as you're getting closer
Yep.
there.
Great.
So Graeme, thanks for being our guinea pig there. Thanks again for coming on and having a bit of a chat with us, a few laughs, and yeah, just
I need to say, we haven't mentioned it, the audiobook and the ebook are out in the middle of November because everyone's asking about them because not everybody can read perfectly, and also obviously an ebook is much cheaper to send across the Atlantic Ocean. So they're done. They just need to be uploaded properly and formatted correctly. And yeah, so it will be out in the middle of November. So if you're waiting on that, then it will be there.
and if people want to get a signed copy, but this is out on Tuesday.
Yep.
So will they still be available then? When are you going to close that window? You should leave it open at least till after Tuesday. Eh?
Okay, well, I'll leave it open until after Tuesday then. So we'll leave it open until Friday.
Right. Okay. So
Okay,
Friday
so-
they can still get a signed copy online.
Yeah. So what's that Friday? The
11th.
Yeah, so pre-orders are the only way you can get signed copy, and it'll be open until Friday the 11th. Yep.
And just for people, roughly when should they expect their order if they have pre-ordered?
End of October.
Beginning of November.
Yeah, this literally genuinely is the definition of a pre-order, as in they're pre-ordered so that we know how many to actually get
Yeah.
printed, because we had no idea whatsoever. So it's not like they're sitting there and we're just trying to drum
No.
up support. It's the definition of we're pre-ordering because we didn't have
Yeah.
a clue how many
So
people.
they maybe get them beginning of November at the latest.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good. And we are going to talk Graeme into doing a meet and greet signing somewhere.
Yeah.
We just haven't decided where yet.
Yeah.
We could potentially host it here. Like
could.
we're in Southwest Scotland here. I bet you get a good turnout, or have it in Glasgow somewhere potentially. We'll talk about that. Anyway,
Lovely.
Graeme, thanks again for coming in. Great
Awesome.
chat.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
And we're back, but Iona's still not ready. It's okay. It's okay. Just have a wee cry. She's crying from laughter. Fantastic podcast again with Graeme. Obviously,
Yeah.
and to talk about the book a bit, and we are blowing a lot of smoke there about that book.
And I
but
felt
it's
like
so
I was,
good.
and it doesn't sit with me well. That
I've been nice.
no, not being that nice. Just like promoting something. I don't know, like
Well, like Crystalyx or Tracesure by Animax
yeah, but I don't really tell people
or the
to
Cars
buy it.
Billington website.
Okay, I see, and I do see your point.
You literally print stuff every week, yeah. But you don't like it because it's Graeme's.
No, I think it's because it's so. I don't know. He's
Yes.
here in the room, and it's been like, oh, it's so good, and I don't know. Just there's something that doesn't feel authentic about it. Yeah, whereas
Oh,
it's
Graeme,
like,
oh, Graeme.
aha.
Oh, Graeme, you're the best.
And I think he touched on that as well in the book. Here I go again. In the book where he talks about basically Americans not really understanding Scottish humour, like, and I think it's not even just our humour; it's how we are with each other.
Oh, yeah,
We're
we
just
cannot
not
be nice.
naturally
No.
nice, but there's like there is an underlying kindness, but it's
Do you know, funny you say that, and we're going to talk more about my America trip in the Friday podcast
Yeah.
coming. But one thing, when we started there, the first night, we played this game called Cornhole, where you throw bags into a hole, and it's such this amazing game. A lot of people that know American culture will know it. I'd never played it before, but by the start of it, like if we did a terrible throw, like Alan and I were getting very competitive in opposite teams. If we did a bad throw, the guys and girls that were there, and even the adults, they'd all be dead nice. They're like, oh, good throw. And I'd be like, well, it wasn't. like I seen it. It clearly wasn't. And then when they were throwing, I'd be like slagging them, going, "Oh wait, do you know you're aiming for this bit here?" And
Yeah.
So see, by the end, and we played it like every day. The cornhole stuff, like even at the show after having beers, we just played it all the time.
Nice.
See, by the end of it, the kids. I say kids. This is like 18 and below. The youngsters, especially the girls, were just tearing us to shreds.
Were they?
We just got it, man. They had the Scottish humour.
That is so funny.
It's like even if you threw a good throw, they slag
They're
you off.
still slagging, yeah.
And it was so good because I'm like, yes, we're in Scotland now.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, it's just a little bit slagging. I think it's maybe a UK thing. It's maybe not a Scottish thing.
I think Scotland in particular.
We're pretty bad. We're pretty ruthless.
Harsh.
Yeah, like you cannot say nice things to people.
No, but yeah, it's funny.
But that's, to get back to this topic we're meaning is, it is a great book and it is available for online order.
Yes, it is.
I don't have a copy to show you here because I don't have the copies yet, but they are coming very soon. I had the audio version. You listened to it via Snoop Dogg, which is class.
I did.
That was Speechify. Have a look at that. We should get him to sponsor our podcast. And yeah, Graeme's book's out. You have a couple of days left to get it. Friday will be the final day for the pre-order signed copy. I'm gonna let us know in the comments if you think we should get him to maybe come here. We're based Sturton at Kilmarnock. You could maybe come here to the Sheep Game HQ and.
Do we? I'll need to have a tidy up.
Yeah, we'll need to have a tidy up, but you could sell a few books and get them to sign them, do a wee meet and greet.
Yeah, nice.
That could work, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other events are on. Or you could go to like an Agri Expo event at
there's
Carlisle.
one at the 1st of November.
Yeah, so that's the one at Carlisle, is it? So something like that, it would be good for him actually. We'll speak to him about that. We're literally just speaking out loud as we do this, as we often do in the podcast. So thanks to Graeme for coming in and having a bit of crack there. We hope we didn't get too crass with it all. You just spoke about your brassicas very briefly. But apart from that, I think it was all above board.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Well, as always, thank you for listening. If you want to support the podcast, do check out fedbyfarmers.co.uk. Buy a little bit of clothing from there. Every little helps to keep pushing us forward. I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we're both
Fed by Farmers.